It is now another big moment for me to introduce our graduate speaker for this year. Please welcome our very own Millicent Malinga of Zimbabwe.
Marabute, you look so beautiful, I'm going to cry. I know that at this very moment, the expectation is that, thank you, I thought the heels would help. I know that at this very moment, the expectation is that I dive into some very big English words and address everyone as distinguished guests or something that I myself might not even understand. But guess what? Today is my graduation day, and as the Nigerians say, I no grief for anybody. So, I'd like to say, first of all, to the fiery, to the dashing, and to the dapper graduates, how far? Yeah. I can tell that when the Nigerians announced this year that the theme is no grief for anybody, they forgot to mention that for us, this has been our theme since we joined ALU. From applying to university in the midst of a global pandemic, with no hope that would even come to university to begin with, we truly no grief for anybody. We forged ahead, showed dedication and determination to our dreams, and some of us even caught the COVID virus on our way to Kigali, yet we kept going. For me, it was the first time I was leaving my 4-year-old son, and for the first few months, I can tell you, I cried myself to sleep, wishing every day that I could be home with him. Some nights I would wake up to cover him with a blanket, only to realize we're a million miles apart. During these difficult times, however, I found comfort in the family that ALU gave me. Brothers and sisters, all from different African countries and cultures, embodied one thing: love. It is within this community that I came to learn that I am human before I am black, that I am African before I am Zimbabwean. And that the spirit of Ubuntu transcends the gender, the color, and the borders that continue to try and separate us. It is within these walls that the words of Samora Machel can be found alive and kicking. At ALU, the nation lives because the tribe is dead. Today, as we are dressed up, ready to break into new boundaries, it can be very tempting to follow the crowd. So at this moment, I invite you to take a step back. I invite you to be daring, to be you and to be bold. You are that guy who put on a mask, carried your hand-me-down suitcase, and trusted a letter that was signed by a guy who had only seen on TED Talks. Hi, Fred. You are that young woman who used to use some of her scholarship stipend to help the situation at home because you knew how hard things could get. So why settle? As our CEO, our founder, and our dean have said, you are extraordinary. You are that child whose parents took a chance on that strange university down in Bumbogo. #Kuriazam. Are you not the same guy who had to submit an assignment 20 minutes before deadline just because that person who braved through that assignment because that one unreliable peer member forgot to do their part? So, do not feel forced to become the next Elon Musk or the next Fred Swanika. No offense, Fred. Just because society expect such or your fellow peers are going down that road. For the computer science students, do you know we have not even won a Turing Award yet? So we are needed. Please, just know that whatever road you travel, it is the road less traveled. We need more policymakers. We need more researchers, more consultants in business firms, and even ethical leaders. So thrive on any path you choose, knowing that wherever you go, you are needed and you are worth it. Trust me, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Now, I'd like to extend my heartfelt thanks and greetings to ALU's version of Santa's Elves, to the staff who barely get recognized for making sure that this well-oiled machine keeps running. In the past 4 years, most of you have had sleepless nights doing more than just facilitating. I know that there are a few of you in this crowd that have sent hangout messages at the oddest of hours asking you why. Why do I have a 2.5 instead of a 2.75? Why did you give me those peer members? Why? And why again? One of the funniest things I've heard about teachers was said by Darwin D. Martin. He said the role of a teacher is to take a bunch of live wires and make sure that they're well grounded. I know for sure when I joined ALU, I was a very much live wire. I still am, but I'm a bit more grounded now. And I can name a number of graduates in this crowd who are just as fiery as I am. So putting these people together and expecting them to work well together often resulted in explosions. You would expect that these explosions would end in the classroom, but hey, story for another day. So thank you to our facilitators for holding these live wires with your bare hands. And to the ones who are so dedicated that they came to class every single day, it does not hurt to call in sick once in a while, please. To the ones who gave career advice, to the ones who listened to pitches about our missions as we were preparing to break into new boundaries, I say thank you. I would mention names, but then there's some names that I find difficult to say, so I don't want anyone to be jealous. But if you're looking for a sign to keep going, please take the smiles in this room from your students as one. Now, if I could, I would kneel down to greet and address this next group of people. In Africa, when we say it takes a village to raise a child, we mean it. In this room today, we have moms and dads, we have uncles and aunts, we have grandparents, family, friends, and even family friends who have traveled from all corners of the world to come and be with us today. They say it is one thing to show your child the way, but it is a whole new thing to get out of the way and let your child pursue it. So I'd like to say thank you for loving us enough to let us go and pursue our dreams. We are grateful for the prayers you said on our behalf throughout this journey. I personally cannot thank my parents enough and my family for standing in the gap and raising my son for the past 4 years. Not only have they raised him with love, but they have made it so easy for me to focus on my studies and dream, knowing that he's well taken care of. And I know each and every one of us in this room has a story of how deeply and how fiercely our families no grief for anybody when it came to us. For some parents, it is true that you are sitting here and you are deep in debt because you were paying your children's school fees. Please know that your sacrifices were not in vain. And as we say in Ndebele, umuntu ngumuntu ngabantu, which means I am because you are. So we stand tall today because we stand on the shoulders of giants, you. Now, I'd like to recognize the stakeholders and the sponsors who made this possible for us, who made it possible for us to pursue our dreams without the financial burden that comes with pursuing a tertiary education in Africa. We now have degrees and skills we can openly brag about because of the work that you do with ALU. You have been a rainbow in a lot of young people's clouds. I know this is a very big moment for me as much as it is for everyone, but I'd like to say, Your Excellency, I'd like to use this opportunity to say, Murakoze Chane, thank you for opening up your home to us, where we got the opportunity to live and experience the true meaning of resilience and unity. Your presence here today does not just symbolize a wonderful and beautiful celebration, but it is a worthwhile and dignified beginning of the rest of our lives. So we say thank you. As we say in my mother tongue, which means that what does not come to an end is a bad omen. So as I conclude, I have words for my fellow graduates. Remember to do only what you think is right, and whatever you do, be able to back it up with your name. Now, I invite you to look to your left and then to your right. Remember that face, remember that smile, remember that name. These are the connections that will carry you into the next phase of your life. Now, please, adjust that tie, fix that suit jacket, and reapply that lip gloss because you are that person. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2021, distinguished guests, Your Excellency, my name is Millicent Malinga, and I was a MasterCard Foundation Scholar at the African Leadership University, where I pursued a fulfilling but ever-changing mission under the Computer Science faculty. Please allow me to take this opportunity to give a shout out to my 8-year-old son, who thinks I'll buy him a Tesla when he turns 21 just because he's cute. And for me, I cannot do without giving thanks to the God I praise and his spirit that leads me. So allow me to take this opportunity to shout, God did. Yeah. I am honored to say, on behalf of the class of 2021, thank you to everyone in this room for making today a reality. Siyabonga, Murakoze, Asante.